We have our next guest, a member of the military, joining us now, the man who fired the shots that killed Osama bin Laden in that famous 2011 raid. Former Navy SEAL and author of The Operator, Firing the Shots That Killed Osama bin Laden, and My Years as a SEAL Team Warrior, Rob O'Neill. Wow, I mean, you know firsthand just the immensity of an operation such as this one. Talk to our viewers about all the planning, what it looks like to carry out something such as extracting the president, who is facing very severe charges of Venezuela here in the U.S.
Well, thank you for having me, Christina. This mission was a lot more, it was bigger. Yeah, there was more stuff going on in the bin Laden raid, because you got to figure, here's just a group flying into a first world country to get their president out of Venezuela's version of the Pentagon. So you've got to fly, off some, I don't know how many ships, from different bases and ships, and then go 10 miles inland. We've got men and women in Space Force and in Cyber Command, stuff like that. You got to figure they turned the country off. And those are some really cool people, the silent warriors we never heard of. How many months of planning and preparation came to figuring out the key installations that need to be turned off? And then to fly in that many aircraft, and we've got rotary wings going in there. You've got Blackhawks. You've got Blackhawks that have rockets and miniguns and stuff. That's one of the famous shots you see with the rockets coming out of the sky, out of nowhere. Those are direct action penetrators, or DAPs that we call them. Just a big group going in. And not really, is this going to work? Is this going to go? We don't know. So every one of those men and women involved that went in country, that could be the last goodbye to your family. So this is a major deal. Plus, to go in like that, now you're fighting Cubans in Venezuela to get a communist dictator. I mean, this is some serious, like, Hollywood movie stuff. And that's one of the handful of missions that I've seen go down and been like, wow, I wish I could have been there. I get it. That was really cool. I've been pacing around my house the past few days, just very, very proud. Peppered with a little jealousy. Would have liked to have been there, but I'm really proud of the guys. They did a bang-up job. To have the president of Venezuela back in New York in jail within 48 hours, I mean, it really could not have gone better.
Rob, the fact that none of our soldiers were killed during this, pretty incredible, I think. And according to the president, there was a tremendous amount of human protection from Nicolas Maduro. There was a lot of gunfire and shooting to bring everyone home safe. I guess there were some injuries, but, they're going to survive.
Yeah, that's the word I'm getting to, and it's still kind of leaking out. What you've got to consider here is when you're dealing with Tier 1 operators, especially the Delta Force guys, these guys have all been in combat, and when they get there and they hit the ground running, those Cubans are not ready for what's coming. These guys have been at war. Basically, I mean, the unit has since, September 12, 2001. They're no strangers to it. They've been in all kinds of gunfights. This is second nature. This is what they do. And it's just, it's one of those things that when someone first asked me, then that's when the Cuban shot at Delta Force, my first question was, why? That's not going to go well when these guys are coming to get them. And they get into the room. Maduro and his wife are trying to get into a safe room, is what they were saying. And they're prepared for that as well, too, with thermobaric torches, all kinds of different explosive shape charges, whatever the new technology most of us don't even know about. That maybe would have added 30 minutes if they closed the door, but they went in there with the mission, obviously had their special forces counterparts, Air Force guys were there. I wasn't on the ground, so I can't say the specifics, but I just can tell as a former special operator, this was really cool.
I mean, you could not pay me to fight back against someone in Delta Force. Like, what those people do is just absolutely...
Christina, you're not trying to pick fights with Delta Force guys?
I absolutely do not think so. I am also very surprised that anyone thought that they could stop them. Robert, I wanted to ask you just about, President Trump's leadership on this. And we just told you that it took almost a decade to find Osama bin Laden. This was carried out, the planning, in just a couple of months. What does that tell you about our president?
Well, I mean, it tells us a lot about our president. He's not afraid to pull the trigger. The two missions were a lot different. I mean, bin Laden was hiding somewhere where he didn't even think we knew where he was, and the other guy's a president of a country. We kind of know exactly where he is. Different missions and actually different outcomes. Like one was a snatch, one was into capture. Ours was, basically, SEAL Team 6 is going to go in to kill bin Laden. Two way different missions. Different levels of out of this world cool. And I just love that now peace through strength is back. President Donald Trump, Secretary of War Hegseth put strength back into it. And literally, we see people on the left whining about dictators and empires. We just proved that if we really wanted to, the United States can go anywhere and do anything they want, and there's nothing you can do about it. We just don't, because we're the good guys.
It's nice to hear that.
It is nice to hear.
That's true.
Do anything you want, and nice to hear we got guys like you, Rob, fighting for our country and protecting us here.
I'll tell you this. This mission right now really put a long timeline in delaying China trying to invade Taiwan.